Patrick, let's turn to the Rockies if you don't mind.
Sure.
Quickie. Justin Morneau has been let go, basically. They bought him out. Ben Paulson was the guy who got most of the time at first base last year when Morneau was injured. Are the Rockies happy going into the next season with Ben Paulson as their starting first baseman, or might they surprise us and go after a big name and pay a guy like Chris Davis some big money to come here and hit the ball out of the park 40 times a year?
You know, that's a really, really good question, and I've asked it not about Chris Davis necessarily, Les, but how satisfied are they with Ben Paulson? Particularly because toward the end of the year, he was splitting time with Morneau, which is a little bit curious. Walt Weiss, I think, is sold on Ben Paulson. Jeff Bridich, who you guys know is kind of a difficult guy to read. I don't know if Paulson is the answer for them. He's a decent fielder. He's got okay power. He actually shown up better than certainly Helton did toward the end of Todd's career. But I think if they got a really first-rate first baseman, that would be an ideal acquisition for this team. I really think that, because you could put Paulson in as your backup, and he could even play corner outfields in a pinch. I would not be against them going out and spending some money for a power first baseman.
Well, I mentioned his name earlier. I'm scared to death that they're going to go with Paulson and Willeen.
Well, you know, there's talk, too, that unless they can find a trade partner, and we're going to find out pretty soon, early December, about a month from now, whether they're going to non-tender Willeen or not. If they don't, that tells me one of two things. They're either going to try to trade him over the winter, which they have had no luck before, or they're going to keep him because they still believe he can be a right-handed power bat off the bench. I agree with you guys. I think Willeen, he told me so. He wants out too. I think it'd be the best for everybody to let Willeen go on and see if he can find a niche somewhere else.
Well, there's just one guy that I think is in love with him, and he's at the top of the food chain.
Hey.
When you go to buy a car, what do you really want? You probably want a lot of cars to choose from. And you want the dealership's best price. Not some starting price or target price, the best price. And you want it immediately, not after hours of negotiating. And you want a salesperson who doesn't get paid more if you spend more. Because, well, you don't want to spend more. Well, you're in luck. John Elway wants all of those things too. Better yet, John Elway wants you to have all of those things too. Come see us or click on johnelwaychevrolet.com.